Moving on to some more breaking news coming in on the broadcast. Now, the so-called mother of all deals has now triggered a sharp reaction from Washington. The Trump administration appears to be rattled as US Treasury Secretary has now pushed back, saying United States had made far bigger sacrifice than Europe. He also said that Washington imposed 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil, even as European nations signed trade deals with the other countries. My colleague Siddhant Mishra joins us on the broadcast. Siddhant, details please.
Well, yes, that's right. So this is the second statement coming from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. In fact, he again says that U.S. imposed 25% tariff on India over Russian oil, while Europe quietly signed a trade deal. He adds that Russia sells oil to India, India refines it, and Europe buys it back, effectively funding particularly. In fact, after Trump coming to power, first they imposed 25% additional tariff on India for buying Russian crude. Then, in fact, the Indian subsidiaries, the Russian Russian companies, Indian subsidiaries were also sanctioned by Europe. Those were the developments. Now, in fact, day before yesterday, there was a statement from Mr. Scott Bessent in which he said that we are thinking of a path to withdraw the tariffs on India, since India has reduced buying oil from Russia. But now this is a fresh statement, and in fact, in this he is mentioning that Europe quietly signed a trade deal, and he alleges that Europe never put tariffs on India. And in fact, he is trying to again kind of hit at Europe. That on one end, Europe says that they are fighting with Russia, but on the other end, they were buying Russian crude via India. So one thing is for sure, that Americans are really not liking the way the mother of all deal is going to be announced by India and Europe tomorrow, because it is going to be one of the biggest trade deals in the global history, and perhaps both India and Europe are coming closer. And this is a reason that in just 48 hours, this is perhaps for the second time that Scott Bessent has spoken about India buying Russian crude, 25% additional tariff, and how Europe buys that crude back and funding the war. So perhaps he's exactly what he's trying to allege, nobody knows. But the fact is that the former U.S. ambassador to India once said that U.S. was aware of India buying Russian crude, and perhaps some of the Indian refiners supplying the same refined oil to Europe. So previous administration was very well aware of this arrangement, this setup by the Indian refiners.
Thank you so much, Siddhant, for sharing your insights on the story.